So you're part of The Walking Dead. Let me give you 3 things to start living your life. First thing, notice your surroundings. It's so important that you take a moment and stop just going through day after day. Think about the drive. When you drove from home to work or you took the subway, do you remember anything from that ride? Right? It was all automatic. Everything was just a blur. You somehow showed up there. Same thing when you go to a friend's house, when you go to a business, when you go out to the store sometimes. You don't remember the ride. You don't remember anything. So what we need to do is we need to close our eyes, take a moment, and breathe. And then take another breath in and keep your eyes closed. And then open your eyes up and look around. What do you see? Look at the color of the grass. Look at the wall. What's on your bookcase? What's in your office? What's down the road as you walk or take a ride or go on a bike? Start to take in the little things in life. Because what's happening is we're on such an autopilot world that you're just going and going and going, and we have no idea what's happening. And time is speeding up because we're not noticing what's happening in our lives. We're just letting it go. So take a moment over the next week and try to be a person who observes their surroundings. Someone who is looking through and notices the leaves that are back here, the woods behind me, the leaves, the blue sky as you go through. It's so important. And if you find yourself that you're just running, take a moment and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, let it out. Take a deep breath in and let it out. Then open your eyes and see the world and take a moment. So that's the first thing. The second thing is do one thing at a time. Do you understand that? One thing. I love when I see resumes and people boasting on the internet or when I meet them, I'm a great multitasker. I can do it all. In the end, you're scrambling. You're not remembering what's happening. You have this piece over here and that piece over there, and you're trying to think, what did you do and you didn't do? Really focus on one thing. Think about your to-do list. Put down 3 things that you want to accomplish. Block out time and only time for those things. And then have a someday maybe list that maybe you can get to. It may be 2 or 3 other things that day. But don't overwhelm yourself and don't tell yourself that you are a great multitasker. The science and the research has proved people are not great multitaskers. If I was going to try to multitask right now and then focus on a friend over here and then try to do something here, I wouldn't be present with the video. I wouldn't be present with you and talking to you. The same thing happens at work. The same thing happens with your family. So when you're at dinner, put the phones down, turn off the TV, look at each other, talk to one another. You know, we do a great thing when we go out and we put all the phones in the middle of the table. And so when we're having dinner with friends, whoever picks up their phone first to check it has to pay the bill. Now, the only thing we'll put on there is if somebody has a sick child at home or a sick parent and that they need to do that. But we have to confirm that you're not just checking, they have to set up a separate ring. So be someone who is only doing one thing, right? Focus on who's in front of you. That's a huge part. Be in the moment. We have a tendency to be all over the place. You know, where are we? What are we going to do? And in the fact, if you just do one thing and you do that well, you're going to see that by noticing your surroundings and doing one thing, you're going to have time. You're going to be able to create time because you're focused and you're enjoying this life. You're enjoying what's happening to you right now. You're not worried about tomorrow or at 5 o'clock. You're not worried about next week or what's in the past. And the last part I want to bring in here, number 3, so that you can wake up and not be one of the walking dead, is to be grateful. It is so important in our lives that we are grateful for everything big and small. And I think a lot of us forget that. You know, it's just one of those things that we just totally forget. From little things like, my wife making a lunch for me, right? That was wonderful. She didn't have to do that, but she did one day. It was great. For a colleague who dropped something off, I said, hey, really nice job on that project. So just even telling your family, your friends that you love them, thank you for being there. It's important that we are grateful. One of the things that you should start building into your daily life is some type of gratitude practice. And I think the best part about it, when you bring it all together, is there are so many different ways you can do this. You can just do a gratitude journal where you just write down stuff and you're thankful and you don't have to worry about it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Then you could have a list of 10 things I'm grateful for and then list them out. I did an exercise with a client the other day, and I said, list out 3 things you're grateful for. List out 3 people you're grateful for. Who are 3 people that you want to thank for being in your life? And the last part was, how can you thank yourself for being you, for being alive and present in this moment? And then they had to write about that. I do a nightly practice where I go through and I do my wins for the day. So Dan Sullivan from Strategic Coach, Dr. Benjamin Hardy, I learned that from them, and it's that they talk about 3 wins for the day, right? So you write down your 3 wins. Then the next part you're going to do is you're going to write down your 3 wins or your 3 learnings that you want from tomorrow, setting your mind up for success and thank yourself for what you're doing. So it's important that you put those out there. You may not achieve those, but it's important. And then, I always take a picture. I have an accountability partner. I share what happened. And then the last part, I write down what I'm grateful for. And I put down that I'm grateful for my family, my friends, my parents. I'm grateful for all the abundance in the world and the opportunities that are coming to me. And I'm just thankful for my future self, and living who I want to be now. And I'm focused on my life. I think that's half the battle, is that Americans, and even in the world, we are so not there. We are so focused on other things. And look, life is crazy, right? We have inflation, we have conflict, we have a lot of things going on. We have these vile political parties in the US and other strives that are happening out in the world. But it really comes down to is you need to focus on who you are. Be there, be thankful for who you are. And you can enjoy that time. Because I think that's the best part. So if we think about this, I talked to you about, are you part of the living dead, right? Are you the walking dead? And I gave you 3 things today that can really help you step out of that. Really notice your surroundings, right? That was number 1. And then close your eyes and take a breath. Take another breath, open your eyes, and then really notice all the details and things around you. The second thing that I talked about was making sure you focus on one thing. You're not great multitaskers. I am not a great multitasker. I end up crashing when I multitask. I tried, I still do it every once in a while. I still tried it, but I know it's not going to get to where I need to be. So make sure that you don't do that. Focus on one thing. Set up your to-do list so it's only a couple of things. Do time blocking so that you're only doing one thing during that time. You're not trying to, I'll get to this and then I'll jump to that. And I noticed that this morning. I had a long list, which I shouldn't have put together, but I put down a long list. And I started jumping and I didn't get focused. So things were getting left. And I just had to correct myself. Said, no, what are the 3 most important things? I have to do those before I get to the others. And that made a huge difference. Once I reframed myself and reframed what I needed to get done, it made a big difference. And then the last part is gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude, right? It's one of those things. It's so important that if you can do anything, you can do everything. I think that's an important, I got that quote from Dr. Benjamin Hardy. I forget who said it, but I love that quote. It's one of the things he loves in terms of going through and working, is that you can do this. You can do any of what I just said. You just need to put it into action. You need to kind of step forward and say, I am making a change in who I am, what I'm doing in my life, what I'm doing in my work, how I'm showing up for family, friends, colleagues, and showing up in the world. Right? It's time to stop living dead and start to living for your life. Live your life. Live your best life. That's the important part. Don't sit back. We have so many opportunities in this world to see the beautiful life that's happening. Don't sit inside. Don't sit on the couch. All right, I'll watch it in live stream. Get out there. Get out and do things. It's amazing. Don't sell yourself short. Get out and do things. Be there. Be alive in this world. And do those 3 things. Notice your surroundings. Do one thing. And be grateful. I'm so thankful you're part of my audience. You're listening to this video. And if there's anything I can do to help you live your best life and make those steps so that you can live in the present and be focused, I would love to have that opportunity to have a conversation with you. So listen, like and subscribe. I'm still trying to grow and make a big impact in the world. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.